Hey, you guys, I've got the Big Payback, and his name is Timothy. You gotta watch this. Hey, do me a favor, just hit that subscribe button and that little bell. That'd be real great. Here's Timothy. Hey, everybody, I have got Tim. Hey, Tim, how are you?
I'm doing great, Michael. How are you?
Well, thank you for joining us on Everybody Play Now. It's really great to have you.
I mean, it's great to be here, and I'm looking so much forward to being in Vegas next week for the big event and meeting everybody. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Everyone, this is the Big Payback. Now, actually on camera, before we begin, let's talk about the mask. Okay, now we didn't even think that we were going to be able to get you on stage at the Excess because historically you've not shown your face on your channel. Why is that? Just give me a little background on that.
It's so funny because when I started my channel, it never even occurred to me that like people would want to see me, that it would be really anything about me. And, it's always been about the games. And, and as I've started growing the channel, and it's been like, oh gosh, almost like 5 years now.
Yeah.
I guess I make change pretty slowly on my channel. And a lot of the other channels, they focused on being a personality. But I've always just focused on, just showcasing games. And yeah, I guess you can see my ghost, as I like to say in some of the videos every now and then. But I've kept kind of this mystery man profile so far. Yeah.
So you've got 77,000 subscribers who have never seen you. That's real. I mean, so this is going to be a big deal because you're going to take off the mask at the Tournament of Champions. Okay, now all of your 77,000 viewers need to tune in to finally see Tim.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so funny. While people, I'll go to casinos and some people, believe it or not, they'll be beside me and they'll tap me on the shoulder and they'll say, "Hey, are you the Big Pay?" I'm like, yeah, I am. And they've recognized my voice.
Right.
And, so I've met like a lot of great people like that. And after I do the big reveal, it's going to be, it's going to be even crazier. And, as I mentioned before, I really, haven't changed my channel that much, where I make change fairly slowly. Mm-hmm. But, going forward, I am going to have some live events. I am going to finally start to do some of those things that a lot of people have asked for. It's just been, it takes me a while to get around to them. And when I do them, I want to do them the right way.
Yeah.
So
they're going to get to know your face, but tell them a little bit about yourself, your life before your YouTube channel. Well,
sure.
Where'd you come from?
So currently I live in Cleveland, Ohio with my wife and the king here, my dog, Smokey, who of course rules the house. And so I'm the president of a technology company, which I did before YouTube. And we've been doing this for close to 20 years now. And we create custom internet solutions.
Wow.
And that, and the channel and playing, doing the channel is actually related to that because, as we've designed so many solutions over the years, part of what I always wanted to do was to design something for ourselves. I mean, we have the technical know-how. So I've always had, some of these great ideas, in my head to do. And that's how the channel really started. It was in conjunction with one of those ideas.
And so you must have been a slot fan. When did you start loving slots?
Oh gosh, it's been so long. I've certainly been playing. I think I always would play more of the card games than the machines. At least when I, like way back when. Mm-hmm. Love to travel and. But playing like Pai Gow Poker. Great game. Yeah. One of my favorite games. And but I'd like take my mom on a lot of trips, and she always loved to play, and I probably picked up some of it from her, over the years. But gosh, certainly over the last 10, 15 years or so, I've gotten into the the games themselves. A little bit, more than just the card games. So the actual slot games, I just love the design of a lot of the games. technology, programming is my background, just thinking about it from that angle. And, and then, the graphic design, like even like talking about your games. I mean, best graphic design out there. It's amazing what you guys have done. I mean, like with
That's
some of the
really nice.
titles.
I'm the creative director, so it means
Oh
a lot to
wow,
say
okay,
that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
am.
I mean, like, so here I'll throw it out there, like Starry Night, which is inspired. It has to be inspired. There you go.
It's a
Okay.
game I worked on, man. It was a game that we decided we wanted it. We love those. The movie. It was before the movie.
Trip to the Moon, right?
It was Trip to the Moon. So it's I can't
Yeah, yeah.
remember George. I can't remember what his name is. I don't know. I can't say it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I was obsessed with that, and then they came out with the movie Hugo, which made sort of like
Right.
explained a lot of that stuff and everything. But that was the inspiration.
Yeah.
You got that. That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, I marvel at that game. When I just look at that design and I'm amazed. And even like some of the other ones that that you guys I can go on and on about it. Like even your Edgar Allan Poe game. I mean that's
Oh,
another
yeah.
one. It blows my mind. I love it. I love it.
Well,
So
my friend Chris Pope, who I worked with on Starry Night, and Adrian Bogart will be very happy to hear you talk about their games. They came from their heart. They did a great job on them.
they're works of art. They really are.
Thank you.
And so, like I mentioned, I'd always play, many of the card games. And when my mom, I'd take her on trips, we go like partners together and play a lot of the games. But the game design has evolved so much.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that like the retro games, aren't cool, because I love the retro games
Yeah.
too. So yeah, I guess, and then, starting the channel, well, gosh, after I started that and, seeing, things grow and grow and grow, I guess, my interest even grew from there on the designs, and, just trying like pretty much any different game I find out there, I give it a shot.
That's great.
So,
And you explain them
yeah.
really thoroughly. That's one thing I would say. A lot of the channels that I've spotlighted have been, they're all a little different, but I already have an opinion about what distinguishes you from the field. But how do you feel
Okay.
that you're distinguishing? Because I see it very specifically. But go ahead. I think
Okay.
it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, so when I look at my channel, every day I launch videos, and probably and even on the weekends sometimes I launch two.
Mm-hmm.
And probably like 6-7 days of the week I'm launching something different.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's all about variety. I have probably one of the diverse sets of titles on any major slot channel.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but in each game, I'm not just playing them just to, showcase like, oh, here's the feature. I'm really playing them. I'm really trying to win, trying to showcase all the features. From low limits, I think the lowest bet I have on my channel is like 50 cents, where I had this awesome win, like almost close to $400, which
Wow.
was great.
That's unusual for a 50-cent bet. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a Cheshire Cat, I think, like 50 cents. I was on a cruise ship, and it was like, wow, it was like, a unique video.
Yeah.
And the highest is actually $1,000 bonus. That was courtesy of my good friend who, I'd say all but maybe 5 of the videos on my channel are mine, that I've taken. But that was kind of a guest video. And then I've had, I've done some videos like at the $250 level. So every day it's really something different, different games, different bet levels, short videos, long videos. And then I actually take the time to write a description of each game. Not a lot of people know about that, and it takes me it takes me a lot of time.
It's hard. It's hard to figure this out when
Sure.
you're not part of the design team that makes it, to really get in those. Those help screens are so dense, and they're so difficult to understand sometimes. That's where I see that you do something that's really incredible. Is that you really do break down the games and explain them, which is great for us. As people who make them,
Yeah.
for someone to explain what you're hoping for, what's the dream, that's
Right.
that's where I see that you're really different about that. Is you're really methodical about, Slot Lady is too. I talked to her the other day. She explains the bonuses beforehand, and I think that's really what you guys are bringing to the game. You know, and so thanks you for that, because people who make the games really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when you look at some of the game designs, how sometimes things that seem so obvious after the fact, well, they're really not.
Yeah.
And it's a fine line when doing a video of being overly verbose when what you want to do is just show play.
Right.
But you also want to point out, some of the special features or some of the things that you want to happen. So I do try and do that at the beginning of my videos. There is a written description.
That's great.
And if I can, I really try and showcase all features of a game. Of course, sometimes that's easier said than done.
Sure.
But ideally, I do like to do that. Yeah.
And it's hard to get to all those features on a budget.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And even if I had all the money in the world, for me, it's still about winning. I mean, I really want to, try to win, try to do my best, and with a reasonable budget. Absolutely.
Yeah. So you started your channel in 2014, 5 years ago. How has filming changed in the past 5 years?
Oh gosh. For me, I remember some of my first videos. I was completely silent, and one of my first videos was my largest win ever. A number I'll never forget: $33,175 on Zeus. Yeah,
wow,
it's crazy. Yeah, and that was, I think, one of the fourth or fifth videos I launched, and I was completely silent during the whole bonus. I mean, it was like 2 minutes, I'm like, I just record the bonus, not the live play.
Right.
And, I don't even think I panned up to the marquee. And, so it was like, and my camera settings were awful,
Yeah.
and, but I caught it, at least I caught it live, and it's still there. And I went bananas after, after it all settled, it came, it was real. But yeah, I mean, 5 years ago, I don't think I was announcing the game, or, I was probably, I had no commentary.
Right.
And, back then people would, it was funny. It never occurred to me that people would be like, oh, that's a fake video. And I'm like, really? Yeah. And so I started then panning up to the marquees, because I'm like, okay, well, if this is going to be a fake with a marquee, well, I'm really making a lot of effort
Yeah, exactly.
to make a video. So, I started, being more comfortable. I'm actually fairly introverted by nature. So even doing a commentary and then recording at a casino, usually, doing it on the sly, especially back then, many casinos embrace, videoing as much as they do now. And even now, there are still problems.
Yeah.
So, I've certainly gotten, more comfortable behind the camera. I try to, just really tell, say what I'm feeling at the time, and not to get in the way too much, because, once again, I never viewed it from the standpoint of this is, the personality of Tim's channel,
Right.
playing slots. I feel like, hey, I'm showcasing these games, and, I'm just kind of along for the ride and trying not to get in the way too much.
Well, now that you have 77,000 subscribers, you've become kind of an entity in the industry. So this is good.
Oh my God.
It's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I do see myself kind of getting out of my cocoon more, over the next year. As a matter of fact, I will be having my first live event. It's still not finalized and announced, but I am going to finally do it next month.
Excellent. That's great. And you travel around a lot. Yeah. So do you where do you play mostly?
So I'm out of Cleveland, and what's great is, I can drive pretty much, 2-3 hours in any direction and find, a lot of different choices to play. Right. And I work from home. Mm-hmm. So I love to, get in the car and, find new places and, travel and get out. I have to get out or I go crazy. Yeah. I mean, just being in the office all day and living in the same place, it'd be too much. So we do have 3 local casinos here. Yeah. And, one I go to, a fair amount. But yeah, I'm really into the travel aspect of it, getting in the car or, Getting down to Biloxi, Mississippi, I try and do that a couple times a year. Great place, a lot of casinos there. But yeah, for me, it's always been about, traveling to new places. You find, new machines, something new, something different. And I just love doing that. And heck, even anybody listening to this, I'd love to come out to your property. Just, send me a line via my website. It's something I love to do.
That's really great. And I think that's one thing that I think a lot of, casinos are starting to realize is that that you may be an ambassador to their casino for somebody who has said, "Oh, I've never been to that casino," and in Biloxi, Mississippi. That looks really nice. That it's a great. I think they ought to work with you guys. And I know that they were really touchy about filming 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Right.
I've been making games for 16 years. And
wow.
And so this didn't even exist then. We just started watching you guys do it. But I knew that when I was trying to document, what I was, my games that I was watching, they jumped on you. The guards were there was all sorts of security concerns, and I think that they're starting to loosen up. And I want everybody to kind of look at you guys as, goodwill ambassadors and people that they should work with. And I think that would be great.
I wrote an article on my website about that a few years ago. It's like, embrace us. I mean, we're essentially free marketing in a lot of ways for you.
Yeah.
And I get the idea that from a privacy perspective, if you were just, focusing on people in the crowd, and I don't do that. I certainly... I go as far as if somebody's name is announced on the PA, I'll mute it out.
Right.
In a lot of videos. But it's times are changing, and a lot of the casinos that have embraced what we do, I really feel they're earning dividends from it.
Yeah, I do.
And why not? Why not?
Yeah.
It's. Like everything, sometimes things just take time.
And it does. I think that there is an. In the industry, we've all been talking about for the last couple of years, where are the next slot players coming from? They've been looking for millennials. How are we going to get millennials into our casinos? How are we going to, there was a big rash of skill games,
right,
which are tough because it's always in favor of the house, and skill games are tough when it comes that way. I mean, table games are more skill, but still a game of chance. But I think that the next generation of players are communicating online.
Yeah. It's, I think like many things as time goes by, it'll seem so obvious after the fact. And it is kind of an exciting time. I mean, game design is really advanced. But, things are just changing so fast, especially with social media and I don't know if any of us really know what's going to be that next big thing.
Yeah.
But, every day, we're just trying, and who would have thought with YouTube, how many, million plus slot videos have to be watched every day.
Yeah.
And tying that together, there's got to be some, real interesting things that are going to hit. And why not embrace it? Why not try something different?
And that is exactly why we're doing this year. Every year we have this giant spectacle called Tournament of Champions in Las Vegas during G2E, which is it's called the $1 million event, and we give away $1.3 million. And
that's so great.
Yeah, no, and so over 230,000 players have been playing since May across North America. And we've got 153 players. They are going to play next Wednesday night at the XS nightclub at the Wynn. And this year, between round 1 and round 2, we are celebrating the YouTube, Facebook, media influencers, slot stars with a tournament for charities. And the top winner is going to walk away with $5,000 for a charity of their choice.
Yeah, it's so great. Yeah. So great of you guys to do this.
Oh, thanks, man. So what charity have you chosen?
So I chose St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, St. Jude, for people who don't know, supports families who have kids who have cancer. Yeah. And, so many challenges with them. I mean, it's just heartbreaking to even, talk about. But, if money that we can donate will help them, make some of those challenges easier, that's what I'd love to do. So I'm going to give it my best shot next Wednesday.
That's great. And God, it's heartbreaking watching those commercials come on and you're just like, it just knocks you out. So
oh my gosh.
What a great charity. You guys, in addition to Tim, we're going to have Brian Christopher, we're going to have Slot Queen, we're going to have Slot Lady, we're going to have King Jason Slots, who's got a brand new channel. We've got Diana Ivani, who's been doing this since 2009.
Part of the first wave, yeah.
Absolutely. And we've got a buddy of mine, Andrew Hunt, who is actually more of a media guy, comes from game show background and things like that. He's more traditional media. And then we've also got the Slot Cats, and they're going to be there.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and then we've also got some of the most influential print journalists from the gaming industry. We've got Frank Legato from Global Gaming Business, Steve Burke from Indian Gaming Magazine, and one of our defending celebrity tournament champion for charities winner, Fen Cross from Southern California Gaming Guide. And so it's going to be great.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
And the biggest news is going to be that you're going to see Tim for the first time. The big reveal. That's going to be on stage October 16th, live from the XS Nightclub at the Encore at the Wynn in Las Vegas. We will have a showdown for charity and a big reveal. So
big reveal.
I hope that I will also are you going to G2E?
I am. Yeah, okay. I'm going to be there all week. It's going to be great.
Okay, well, I'm going to be there the first day on the floor. Make sure to come by. I'll be kind of walking around in a suit going, pulling my collar. Because I'm a T-shirt guy, and then I'm going to be in a tux the night doing the tournament.
Right.
So as the host. So you guys go find Tim's channel and subscribe. Really, it's important to subscribe. These channels are important, and I want everybody to support our online slot community, and subscription is key, and you might want to do ours when we're at it.
Absolutely.
So tell me, where else are you posting? Where else do you post? In social media?
Before this will blow everybody's mind, or maybe not. Before I started my YouTube channel, I was involved. I had zero involvement with social media. I don't even think I made a Facebook post. So I do have a Facebook presence and Twitter, but it's not really where it's at. Where it's at is youtube.com/thebigpayback, and also our website, which is just at thebigpayback.com.
Right.
So with the website, and that was part of the reason why we even started the channel, to kind of like cross-market between the two.
Yeah. And
the website is something that will be growing over the next year. Currently we have slot videos, of course, and then I write articles on, slot reviews and a lot of good information. And then moving forward, we're going to be adding a lot of other interesting features to grow the community. So, youtube.com/thebigpayback and thebigpayback.com.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Everybody Play Now. And we're going to see you in just a few days.
Absolutely.
In Las Vegas. This is going to be great.
It's going to be great. Thanks so much for having me, Michael, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, everybody play now.